He was racially profiled. They followed him around. He was shopping. He took 4 waters, he put them back. He even showed them by shaking his hoodie that he took nothing. And he walked out of the store. He didn't argue with them. He didn't have any confrontation. He didn't curse them. He just walked out. He was respectful. And yet 2 grown people chased him. He fell and they shot him. He shot him dead, like as if he was a dog. And I do not understand how that jury can come back and say that he was not guilty. He was in a runner's stance. It was shown by the pathologist, and they said he was not guilty. It was devastating for me to get a call from Alvin S. Glenn letting me know that Rick Chow was released. That broke me more than you can ever imagine, because my murderer of my son was set free. And it's not fair, and it's unjust. And nobody can tell me that this is not racially motivated, because I'm not supposed to be on social media anyway. But when I go and I look at my social media, I have racist people coming to my page, going under my son's pictures, leaving the most horrific things, saying that they're glad he's dead, good riddance, and I am tired. I don't want this to happen to any other child. No black or brown child should have to go through this. No parent should have to go through this. This has to stop today. And I just learned today that South Carolina, if it's a murder charge, that they cannot bring in any of your prior acts. Rick Chow shot 2 people before. Rick Chow accosted a child in that store and beat her up with a gun on her hip. And none of that information could be brought to light. And I do not think that is fair, and if that is on the law books, that needs to be changed. Because if that was not there, then my son would have gotten justice. And to allow this person to terrorize this neighborhood for 12, 13 years is ridiculous. And it's just showing that it's okay to treat black and brown people wrong, and it's not. My son loved everybody. He would tell me like, oh, Mom, you're being judgmental. You shouldn't do that. That's against God. And the devil shot him dead, and he laid right there. And we got no justice from South Carolina. And I think it is disgusting, and I don't even know why. I have no words. But every day I will not be able to speak to my son, hear his voice change, see him grow, go to prom. He will never get married. I would never hold my grandchildren, nothing. But Chow is able to go home with his lion son, Andy Chow, and they're able to have dinner with the wife, Alice, who all 3 of them came out that store, and they chased my baby. And I think the entire family should be held accountable because it was racially profiled. And I do not think that it is right, and they all should be punished. And I don't know what laws that we need to create to help our people, but it needs to be done, and it needs to be done now. Cyrus should not be gone. None of our children should be gone from the acts of racism, from profiling, from any of that. He should be here. And until the world treats us like we are human beings, I mean, come on. Y'all hire us. Y'all want us around. You like our culture. You want to listen to the music. You want to wear our clothes. You want to do all of that stuff. But when it comes to protecting us, and when it comes to looking at our children, you look at us as if we are animals, and we are not. I am a college-educated woman. I hold a master's degree in information technology management. My son was not a thug. He was a 14-year-old boy who was trying to find his way. And for any person that acts like when they were 14, 15, 16, 17, that they did not do nothing wrong, that they did not smoke and drink and have sex and do whatever that they were not supposed to do by their parents, it is a lie. And it is judgmental, and I refuse to allow any of you to sit up there and make it seem like we were bad parents, because we were not. All of our children make mistakes, but I don't see anybody saying, oh, well, you know what? My kid did X, Y, and Z. My kid did X, Y, and Z. No, they're coming onto my page and try to demonize my child, and I will not have it. And it stops today. Keep your opinions to yourself. And until you are in my shoes and you have to bury a child, I don't want to hear nothing from you.
Good morning, B1 family. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Powerful words from the sister, but I want to dissect what she said. Because there were a lot of points I agree with, but there are some key things she said that made me cringe. Because I'm not going to take away from the pain or the hurt. I've never buried a child outside of our stillborn baby. But somebody you've grown with and you've named and you've loved and you held, I've never experienced that. And I hope I never do. So I'm not going to take away from that. Because my father buried my oldest brother from his previous relationship, Jonathan Alexander Douglas. And I saw his hurt and how he was coping with it. So I understand and I can empathize. However, in these moments, certain things you say can honestly set you back from the goal you're trying to achieve. So we're going to critique this with empathy and love.
He was racially profiled. They followed him around. He was shopping. He took 4 waters, he put them back. He even showed them by shaking his hoodie that he took nothing. And he walked out of the store. He didn't argue with them. He didn't have any confrontation. He didn't curse them. He just walked out. He was respectful. And yet 2 grown people chased him. He fell and they shot him. He shot him dead, like as if he was a dog.
Based on the history of Chow, he been waiting to catch a body. Pull the trigger, kill a nigga. I guess he felt like they would put him beyond honorary status of white supremacy that'll put him as a full-on white supremacist, right? Because wasn't it like a running thing in the 80s, maybe a little bit further back, pull the trigger, kill a nigga? Wasn't that like a thing? It's still a thing, but it's like it was a saying, almost a slogan. If you had the opportunity to pull the trigger and kill a nigga, oh my gosh. Ain't it like the red shoelaces thing from the Turner Diaries?
And I do not understand how that jury can come back and say that he was not guilty. He was in a runner's stance. It was shown by the pathologist, and they said he was not guilty.
Because your and my black sons, your and my black daughters are 30, 40, 50-year-old adults in their mind. White supremacy adultifies our children all the time, while baby and they grown-ass men, 20, 30, 40, 50 years old. Oh, he just so, he had a troubled childhood and all this stuff. They can find all this empathy and sympathy for a stone-cold murderer. But our respectful child, our respectful children, we got to get this one. It's an easy kill. Because they're innocent. It's a lynching. That's what makes it satisfactory for white supremacy. They got to be innocent. We know they got to be innocent. And it's like, we know the boy didn't do nothing, but we're going to get Chow off anyway so we can hurt them up. We're going to go on these spoof accounts and go on the comments and yeah, we love it. Because that's what white supremacy gets off on.
It was devastating for me to get a call from Alvin S. Glenn letting me know that Rick Chow was released.
This is what she means when she says Alvin S. Glenn. She's talking about the detention center. Yeah, in Richland County, South Carolina. It's named after the detention officer, Alvin S. Glenn, who was killed by inmates in 2006.
That broke me more than you can ever imagine, because my murderer of my son was set free. And it's not fair and it's unjust. And nobody can tell me that this is not racially motivated.
That part. She said it again. She said it first in the beginning, and she said it again. Respect. We have to be on that type of messaging. Trying to talk around it and not do it because we don't want to offend anybody. It's only going to make the targets on our back glisten and glow. They're already as big as they can be. Our beautiful melanated skin is the biggest target ever. But we don't need to glow by saying, well, I don't want to offend nobody. So you can end up dead. If white supremacy wants to kill you, it was going to go for it. It's going to do what it's got. It's going to do whatever it has to do to get rid of you. Whether it can do it early while you're young, or wait till you get old. If we can't kill you, we're going to lock you up. We can't lock you up, we're going to kill you. We'll frame you. We'll wait 70 years to say, oh, you were innocent. White supremacy, you quit playing. I need my FBA family to quit playing. I need you non-FBA that are on code to quit playing. I need y'all to check y'all tether class. Heavy. Cause I just learned that Reed, hold on. Cause I'm pretty sure the boy's Caribbean. A second autopsy reveals Trey Reed was murdered. It was a blunt force trauma to the back of the head. Quit playing. All right. Y'all wonder why delineation is so hard body? Y'all wonder why? Because y'all playing. This is warfare on all fronts.
Because I'm not supposed to be on social media anyway, but when I go and I look at my social media, I have racist people coming to my page, going under my son's pictures, leaving the most horrific things, saying that they're glad he's dead, good riddance, and I am tired. I don't want this to happen to any other child. No black or brown child should have to go through this. No parent should have to go through this. This has to stop today. And I just learned today that South Carolina, if it's a murder charge, that they cannot bring in any of your prior acts. Rick Chow shot 2 people before. Rick Chow accosted a child in that store and beat her up with a gun on her hip. And none of that information could be brought to light.
We got to thank old Jimbo Jangles Clyburn for that. That's his state. Been his state for what feels like 100 years. He ain't did shit for that state. But watch it get run down. The black folk get ran over while him and his kids collect a check, a hefty check, a secured check for years. Catfish nuggets ain't shit when our black children are being killed and their killer is let go.
And I do not think that is fair, and if that is on the law books, that needs to be changed. Because if that was not there, then my son would have gotten justice. And to allow this person to terrorize this neighborhood for 12, 13 years is ridiculous. And it's just showing that it's okay to treat black and brown people wrong, and it's not.
And that's where I became instantly frustrated. Sister, stop that. We good. We got it. Old boy is basically a part of the brown. He's a person of color. Stop saying that shit. For the love of everything that is holy, quit asking for black and brown people of color. Marginalized groups, quit saying that shit, because what it does, it takes away from the power of your speech, the power of what you're trying to have done. Because what they'll do is they'll say, oh yeah, we with you, and then give everything to the fucking brown. We are enough. We have always been enough. God, when she said that, it was like, it felt like a gut punch. It was like, sister, no, you just literally stripped away the power of your efforts saying black and brown. Stop that, please, black folk.
My son loved everybody. He would tell me like, oh, mom, you're being judgmental. You shouldn't do that. That's against God. And the devil shot him dead, and he laid right there.
And I understand what she's saying right here. I can take everything and have a critique of the one thing, but be in awe of everything else. because I was like that growing up. You know, no, Pop, you know, you gotta, Africans, man, they woo, 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 woo. If he would have been allowed to get older, he would have figured out, these same people don't love me back at all. Even God kicked the devil out of heaven. And here's the thing, if you think about it from a biblical standpoint, he kicked the devil out of heaven, had him jump, kicked him out of heaven, and he was still able to have a conversation with him later on. Remember the story of Job? The guy be like, oh no, he's the devil, let me smite him. It's like, oh, let's chop it up. Yeah, I'm not gonna let you back into my house, but let's chop it up. So even in that, when you get older, there's a certain level of understanding you have that's more deeper and more pronounced because you have life experience, and that was taken away from your son.
And we got no justice from South Carolina. And I think it is disgusting, and I don't even know why. I have no words. But every day I will not be able to speak to my son, hear his voice change, see him grow, go to prom. He will never get married. I would never hold my grandchildren, nothing. But Chow is able to go home with his lion son, Andy Chow, and they're able to have dinner with the wife, Alice, who all three of them came out that store, and they chased my baby.
And that right there is the harrowing part of the situation. Knowing that it's something, see, I had all my children in this big old forearm. All of them. I had their heads in my arm looking at them in awe. My genetics passed down. They looking at me cooing. I've held all my children. 13 is my oldest. 12 and 11. And to have that cut short and living life knowing that they'll never be able to experience the same thing. God forbid, right? I can empathize because I think about that. What happens if my children are next? Which is why I go hard, because I'm not going to do like our sister Mamie Till did. I remember that story, how she said something happened to another child outside of her state. Well, that's their problem. Until it happened to her child and she realized she was wrong about that. See, we have a long storied history where we can look back on and say, let's not make these same mistakes. Let's not talk this way, because they're going to sit at our front door. They're going to get older. They're going to start driving, want to start going out and hanging out with their friends. What happens when they hang out there one time? It's a police officer. He's like, I got me one. And he unloaded my kid. But the whole entire time we're talking about, man, that's, black folk just do what they need to do now. If they just do what they need to do and just smile and happy and be all happy-go-lucky and all that stuff and everything be all right, rainbow sunshines and everything, I couldn't live with myself. So I go hard body, knowing that could happen anyway. Knowing that every time I get pulled over, I can get taken up out of here. Knowing that every time I'm on my motorcycle and they see his black skin, somebody could be trying to antagonize me, run me off the road. Knowing that because I wear this beautiful copper color, somebody wants me dead for the simple fact that they can see me breathing.
And I think the entire family should be held accountable because it was racially profiled. And I do not think that it is right, and they all should be punished.
Once again, respect. This is the third time she said racially profiled. Racial. It is racial. It is racial. Chow shot at, granted they were stealing, but Chow said, oh, they threatened me with a .45 caliber. It's a 45. And shot up a car with a black woman. Shot a black man. Racial, but it's not black and brown. I don't see no brown folks saying they got shot at. Quote, brown folk. It is us, black folk, the soil, the seed, the heritage, the lineage. It is us. They cannot stand. And that's everybody.
And I I don't know what laws that we need to create to help our people, but it needs to be done, and it needs to be done now. Cyrus should not be gone. None of our children should be gone from the acts of racism, from profiling, from any of that. He should be here.
Somebody call Clyburn and get his big, old, catfish frying ass on the phone. Where's the Perminator? Where's Bowling Ball Martin at? Where's all these blue no matter who? This was happening in a blue state. Notice it keeps happening in these blue states or these blue towns, blue cities. It's whether it's a Democratic president, Democratic representative, senator, mayor, governor. It is happening in these blue states where we're supposed to be so loyal to blue no matter who. Where are they now? Quiet as a goddamn church mouse, ain't they?
And until the world treats us like we are human beings, I mean, come on. Y'all hire us. Y'all want us around. You like our culture. You want to listen to the music. You want to wear our clothes. You want to do all of that stuff. But when it comes to protecting us and when it comes to looking at our children, you look at us as if we are animals, and we are not. I am a college-educated woman. I hold a master's degree in information technology management. My son was not a thug. He was a 14-year-old boy who was trying to find his way.
Shout out to the sister for recognizing that globally, nobody fuck with us. Nobody, including the brown people. I'm going to keep saying that. The brown people don't fuck with us either.
And for any person that acts like when they were 14, 15, 16, 17, that they did not do nothing wrong, that they did not smoke and drink and do and have sex and do whatever that they were not supposed to do by their parents, it is a lie. And it is judgmental, and I refuse to allow any of you to sit up there and make it seem like we were bad parents, because we were not. All of our children make mistakes, but I don't see anybody saying, oh, well, you know what? My kid did X, Y, and Z. My kid did X, Y, and Z. No, they're coming onto my page and try to demonize my child, and I will not have it. And it stops today. Keep your opinions to yourself. And until you are in my shoes and you have to bury a child, I don't want to hear nothing from you.
Since they came to your page because that gives them glee. That literally excites these white supremacists, these devils. And they probably touching themselves while they're doing it. That's how disgusting these individuals are. But respect to you, the only critique I have is you said black and brown. Them brown folk don't fuck with us. Like the rest of the world don't fuck with us. Now, y'all know I did a video saying, hey, look, you know, let's hit them in the pockets. That's my suggestion, right? But I also said, I'm not finna quell anybody's spirit. I can't control how folk feel. I'm not gonna be one of those, hey, let's pray and hold hands and hug. We're gonna pray, hold hands and hug. Hold hands, hug, and pray. And the family said, yeah, we feeling some type of way, so we're gonna handle it in the way we feeling. Who am I to judge?
Back at it. Okay, so the store is broken into, as y'all see. Water bottles. That's what the little boy died because of water bottle. He stole a water bottle. $0.89 water he lost his life for. That's crazy.
Sorry for that.
Plenty of water bottles. Now water's so free, it's crazy.
Remember what we out here for, y'all. Remember what we out here for. But at the same time, motherfuckers,
Now, The family did what they had to do. I'm not saying no, good, bad, or indifferent. That ain't my place. I'm riding my folk. The methodologies might not be the same as long as there's results. Now, what I have a problem with is that when our sister said, hey, we don't get protection like we need to get, she's right. Because look how many cops they had out at that building, at that property, protecting this property from Chow the killer, who apparently vacated the premises.
Damn, they did this. Oh, y'all ready? Lock our black ass up. Oh, that's News 19. Oh, hell no. I hope she got that. Okay. We still gonna burn the store down. The fuck? It's really, I'm sorry, ma'am. If you got kids who understand.
You can't get one cop to show up to your house in less than 30 minutes. They got a whole squadron, a whole platoon on that property. See, this is the nonsense we're talking about. This is why we go so hard. This is why we delineate. This is why we pull up. This is why we act out. Because every other way we tried holding hands, we tried the prayer, we tried everything else. We tried to do it y'all way. Y'all laugh at us, scoff at us, and then do what the hell you want to do anyway. Turn up time. Because see, the B1 family still feels some type of way.
So you mean to tell me they found the owner of that gas station not guilty of killing a 14-year-old boy? They had the camera footage that showed that he did not steal anything. Meanwhile, they couldn't show any camera footage that he was actually pointing his gun, which is what caused the man to shoot him in the back. And he feared for his life. I don't know. That sounds a bit strange. Because if I fear for my life, I won't be chasing anybody that had a gun. And if it was self-defense, how did he get shot in the back? This is absurd. I am a spiritual person, and I hope that the universe, that the law of attraction do its job to the best of its ability. You know what they say, you get back what you put into it. So yeah, I can't say what I really want to say, but may the universe lay their hands on this family and bring them peace and the strength and courage to appeal till they can't fucking appeal.
Well, sister, the South Carolina family is doing one better. They make sure it's happening expeditiously.
Let me put y'all on game. The Asian people do not like us. They don't like us. We know this. This is no surprise. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so tired of it. You know how you get them. You know how you hit their pockets. Stop going to these nail shops. Stop shopping at their stores. I don't care if you got to go to Costco's or Sam's or just Walmart, just anywhere. They don't like us. I'm going to tell y'all a true story. I stay across the street from one of them. And I live in a pretty nice neighborhood. It's no sense of lying. I've been here for years. You know, this bitch never did speak to me, but it took me to go take her mail. A check. That's what it said. Paid out too. To take a check back over there. And a FedEx package came here. Then I guess she felt, oh, she's not like that. And then she started speaking to me. Ma'am, you didn't have to speak to me because one thing about me, I'm going to do the right thing anyway. Okay, I'm going to do the right thing. But after 10 years, she just started speaking to me. I used to walk. She used to cross the street so she wouldn't speak to me. This is the truth. I'm telling y'all, these people do not like us. Only thing they like and only thing they want is our money. That's it. And y'all could get them out there protesting. Get them out there. If you want to hit them, I'm telling you, stop going into their stores. Stop going to the nail shops for a little while. I don't know, go find a black nail tech. Go do something. That's how we hurt them.
We were good until you said a little while. See, it lets me know you a little flaky. You know what I'm saying? No, not a little while. We not doing it at all. In fact, I don't use TikTok Shop no more because most of those products come from Asian companies. Not doing TikTok Shop no more. Unless it's a certified black company, particularly Foundational Black American, I'm not finna buy because Fuck no. And fuck them.
We hurt them by stop supporting them. You know what? And the sad part about it, somebody gonna go right back in that same store. That store open up. They gonna go right back in that same store in a couple weeks or whatever, and they gonna go back and support them and buy from them and do whatever the case may be. We got to stop. We need to come together. We are powerful than what we think we are. We are powerful people. Start supporting one another. Stop hating on one another as black people. But we know that these people do not like us. It's right in front of our eyes. And how we hurt them is stop supporting them. Hugs and love. Y'all be blessed to.
We are very much powerful people. However, we can't have any flakiness for a little while. Nah, not at all. Even myself, when I talked about that young man who I think is non-FBA, I was letting them know, the tethers know, hey, look, this is something going on that's affecting y'all. But y'all rather fight against us. So this is what y'all got to deal with. See, it's all good until it hits home. Because, see, tethers think it's all good until it hits home. They're like, oh, shit, wait a minute. No, we good Negroes, right? We not like the Akata. You'll do it until Akata gets here, right? Back in your islands, they won't let you on your own beaches. The Asians are whooping your asses in Africa. Y'all have the audacity to be over here trying to tell us what we need to do. This is why we do what we do. This is why delineation is here. Because you niggas would make this 10 times worse. If we were still on that kumbaya-ish with all these, quote, melanated people, this whole situation probably wouldn't even happen. There probably wouldn't be a turn up. The Democrats would have easily sent somebody out there to dispel the energy. Clyburn probably would have came out there himself with some catfish nugget sandwiches. And they're about, oh, okay, yeah, let's just go home. And then it would happen again and again and again and again and again. Now, I don't understand how the prosecution failed this or how this was able to be botched up, but there's a sister who goes by the name of Lauren the Lawyer who breaks this down. I'm going to share an excerpt from her IG. Make sure you go to her IG and follow her. It's Lauren, Laurem, the Lawyer, on IG.
I knew the moment the jury sent the question to the judge asking what was the definition of malice that it was going to be not guilty. I know you guys are like, Lauren, where are you? I am not in my office. I'm actually at home in my podcast room. I just got dressed and I'm about to head to court. If you are new here, because I know I do have a bunch of new followers, my name is Lauren. I am a trial attorney and I practice personal injury and family law. I know so many of you guys are confused, heartbroken, stunned about the Rick Chow verdict, and I am here to explain how in the world did this happen. And it comes down to two things: understanding what murder is and the defenses to them. Over 10 years ago, I'm not going to tell my age, when I was in law school and I took criminal law, it was actually one of my favorite subjects. The reason why I didn't go into criminal law is a story I would have to tell you guys in person. But back to this devastating case. In 2023, Rick Chow chased a 14-year-old boy named Cyrus out of his family's convenience store after believing that he stole a bottle of water. Now, the prosecutors argued that this was an unjustified killing, meaning there was no defense for this. The child was running away. He was shot in the back. He did have a weapon on him, but it was only exposed after he fell to the ground and it came out of his pocket. That the gun was never pointed towards anyone. He was never threatening anyone with a deadly weapon. Now, the defense made the opposite argument. They argued that the gun was actually pointed at the shop owner's son, and the shop owner shot the 14-year-old in defense of his child. Now, defense of others is a legal defense, especially when you're defending someone that you have the legal duty to protect, like a parent and a child. But you have to meet the person with the same level of threat that they're receiving. So if it's non-deadly force, you have to protect with non-deadly force. If you're being threatened with deadly force, then you can protect with deadly force. So since it was a gun and a gun, that's on the same level. But if he threw a rock, you can't meet with a gun. You understand the concept. We know the jury's verdict was not guilty. That technically does not mean that the jury believes that Rick Chow did everything legally correct. What it means is they do not believe that the prosecutors met their burden, that beyond a reasonable doubt that it was murder. And when you are accusing someone of murder, you have to prove malice. And when that question came back, I said, ooh, if they're confused, if they don't know what malice is and they're asking that question, we got a problem.
So the prosecution did drop the ball. They didn't go hard body enough. They didn't make it plain enough, simple enough. At least that's my suspicion.
We have a mixture of a perfect storm. They're clearly not convinced that there was malice, and if you don't have malice, you don't have murder. And it means that the defense sprinkled in just enough doubt that maybe he was defending his son. Now let's talk about legally what is malice. And it's not dislike, it's not hate. You probably don't even know this person. Perfect example with this case. In layman's terms, the best way I could describe malice is when someone intentionally does something that they know will cause death or serious bodily injury, and they don't have any legal justification for that action. And a legal justification would be self-defense, defense of others. They are doing this action knowing they're not doing it in self-defense. They're not doing it defending someone else, and they know their actions are going to either kill this person or cause serious bodily injury. And the defense attacked malice, just sprinkling in enough doubt that maybe he was defending his son. Did the prosecutors prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he was not defending his child? Clearly not. In short, if someone kills another person because they feel like their life is threatened or someone else's life is threatened, then that killing does not include malice. You have to have malice for murder.
I want to know who the prosecutors are. We need to learn names and who these people are. Look into backgrounds. Look at how often they won cases, what type of cases they've won. Because what the hell? If y'all want her full breakdown, you can find it on her IG. I don't know. I think she has YouTube, but I don't know if she does her case stuff on YouTube. I remember following her on TikTok. But I know she's on IG for sure. So go to her IG, Laura the Lawyer, and get the full breakdown. I think it's like over 10 minutes or something like that. Now back to our brother Karmelo Anthony. We gotta remember white supremacy took an L in Texas, in the DFW, Dallas County. Don't forget, because they didn't. Let's take you back to 2019. Amber Geiger. They were trying to move that out of Dallas County to Kaufman County. Judge denied it. See, Kaufman County is majority white. Black folk ain't really out there like that. But on the other hand, Dallas County is like that. Plus, that's where she committed the crime.
They knew what they were doing when they decided to move Karmelo Anthony's trial to Cullen County, Texas. Cullen County, Texas is 54% white and 12% black. How the hell was he going to be able to have a jury of his peers? An all-white jury is going to 99.9% find him guilty just based off of his looks. They are going to make Karmelo Anthony look like a thug that's unhinged instead of a straight AB student and a top athlete. They're going to make Austin Metcalf and his brother look like good old white boys. Not bullies, not antagonizers. Not the people that instigated the situation that actually came after Karmelo Anthony. We already know how this is going to end. Karmelo Anthony is going to spend the rest of his life in jail for self-defense. And I don't care what anybody else says, it's self-defense.
So when we see situations like this, just know white supremacy is in full effect. Unfortunately, it's a good thing because a lot of us will go back to sleep without these things happening. We need to be woken up. I could be playing a whole bunch of people say, hey man, we need to boycott, which I hate that term. No, it's a blackout, full blackout. It's no longer. Ain't no negotiations. We cool. We finna have a reset. Anti-black hate crime bill, reparations, and we're gonna work on us and do us without anybody else. No black and brown, no persons of colors, no marginalized groups, no minorities. Just us, with us, by us, for us. The work is not done, but we're gonna keep working. Thank you for all your love, support. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. B1, FBA all day, and delineation now.